I spent 3 months and $4,000 testing the top 3 AI tools everyone swears by for faceless YouTube channels, and 2 of them were completely useless. Here's the problem with most faceless channel advice. Everyone tells you which AI tools to use. They show you dashboards, they walk through features, they hype up the technology. But nobody tells you what happens when you actually try to build a real channel that makes real money. Because here's the truth. Most faceless channels fail. Not because the AI is bad, not because the niche is saturated. They fail because people are optimizing for the wrong thing. They're focused on which tool generates the best voiceover, or which one has the cleanest animations, or which one is the newest and shiniest. And meanwhile, they're ignoring the only thing that actually matters, whether the content keeps people watching. So I ran an experiment. I built a faceless YouTube channel from scratch using the 3 most recommended AI tools in the space. I gave myself 3 months. The goal was simple: get to monetization and then scale past $10,000 a month. I tracked everything: time spent, money spent, performance metrics, bottlenecks, and what I found completely changed how I think about AI tools. 2 of the 3 tools everyone recommends, they slowed me down. They created more problems than they solved, and they had nothing to do with the channel actually working. But one tool was the reason the channel hit $12,000 last month, and it's probably not the one you think. Alright, let me set the parameters so you understand what I was testing. The channel niche, business and productivity. Specifically, case studies on how companies scaled, breakdowns of business models, and founder stories. Not super competitive, but not a blue ocean either. The constraints. I needed to produce 2 videos per week minimum to stay consistent with the algorithm. Each video needed to be between 8 and 12 minutes, and everything had to be AI generated. No hiring editors, no recording myself, no outsourcing. The benchmark. I needed to hit 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours within 90 days to get monetized. Then I needed to scale revenue to at least $10,000 a month within 6 months. Why these constraints? Because that's the real test. Anyone can make one good video with AI. The question is, can you build a system that's repeatable, scalable, and profitable? That's what separates a YouTube channel from a YouTube business. Alright, tool number 1, Pictory. If you've watched any faceless YouTube tutorials, you've heard of Pictory. It's the AI video tool that supposedly takes a script and turns it into a full video with stock footage, transitions, captions, everything. And on paper, it sounds perfect. You write a script, paste it in, and Pictory does the rest. That's the promise. Here's the reality. Pictory works if you want generic stock footage heavy videos that look like every other faceless channel. But if you're trying to stand out, if you're trying to make content that people actually watch past the first 30 seconds, Pictory creates a problem. The footage it selects is random. It doesn't understand context. You'll write a line about building a startup in a garage, and it'll pull stock footage of a guy in a suit shaking hands in an office. It's not wrong, but it's not right either. And that disconnect kills retention. I spent weeks trying to manually override the footage selections. I'd go through every clip, swap things out, adjust timings. And at that point, I wasn't saving time. I was just using an expensive interface to do what I could have done in Premiere Pro. The second issue, the pacing. Pictory defaults to slow, methodical cuts. It's fine for explainer videos, but it's terrible for retention-driven content. YouTube audiences in 2025 expect faster pacing, tighter edits, more dynamic visuals. Pictory feels like it's still optimized for 2021 YouTube. So after a month of testing, I dropped it. I kept the captions feature because that's useful, but the core video creation, useless for what I was trying to build. Tool number 2, Descript. Now, Descript is legitimately good. It's an AI video editor that lets you edit video by editing text. You record or import footage, it transcribes everything, and then you just cut words out of the transcript and the video edits itself. I thought this would be the winner, because even though I was building a faceless channel, I still needed to edit, removing pauses, tightening sections, fixing mistakes in the AI voiceover. And for the first few videos, Descript was great. I could knock out edits in half the time. The interface is intuitive. The AI features like filler word removal and silence cutting actually work. But here's where it broke down: scalability. Descript is incredible if you're editing 1 or 2 videos a week. But when I started ramping up production, I hit a wall. The software is resource heavy. My laptop would lag on longer videos. Export times were brutal, sometimes 20 minutes for a 10-minute video. And the bigger issue, Descript is built for podcasters and talking head YouTubers, not faceless content. It's designed around editing speech, not building visual narratives. So I was still doing most of the heavy lifting manually, finding B-roll, syncing visuals, creating hooks. It saved me time on the technical editing, but it didn't solve the core problem, creating videos that people want to watch. So Descript stayed in my workflow, but it wasn't the reason the channel worked. It was a tool, not a system. At this point, I was about 6 weeks into the experiment and I was frustrated. I had the scripts, I had decent voiceovers, I had tools that were supposed to make this easy. But the videos weren't performing. Watch time was terrible. Retention dropped off after 30 seconds. I wasn't growing. And that's when I realized the mistake I'd been making. I was treating this like a production problem. I thought if I just had the right tools, the right workflow, the right automation, the content would work. But the issue wasn't production. It was structure. People weren't clicking off because the videos looked bad. They were clicking off because the videos were boring. The pacing was off, the hooks were weak, the storytelling didn't pull them through. And no AI tool was going to fix that for me, because the tools were designed to make production easier, not to make content better. That's when I shifted my entire approach. And that's when I found the one tool that actually mattered. Tool number 3, Claude. Not an AI video tool, not an editing platform, just Claude, the writing AI. And before you roll your eyes, let me explain why this was the only tool that moved the needle. The problem with faceless YouTube channels isn't the visuals, it's the scripts. If your script is boring, your video is boring. Doesn't matter how good your voiceover is. Doesn't matter how clean your edits are. A bad script kills everything. And most people write terrible scripts because they're thinking about information, not retention. They structure videos like blog posts, intro, point 1, point 2, point 3, conclusion, and that's why nobody watches past 2 minutes. Because there's no tension, no curiosity, no reason to keep watching. Claude changed that for me, not because it wrote my scripts, I still wrote them, but because it helped me structure them for retention. Here's how I used it. I'd start with a rough outline of the video topic. Then I'd ask Claude to reframe it as a story with hooks, reveals, and cliffhangers. I'd feed it examples of high retention videos and ask it to analyze what made them work. Then I'd take that structure and write the script myself. But here's the real advantage. Claude understands context in a way that other AI tools don't. It doesn't just generate text, it reasons through problems. So when I'd ask it, how do I make this section more engaging without losing clarity, it would give me actual strategic answers, not just generic rewrites. And once I started using Claude to optimize my scripts, everything changed. My average view duration went from 2 minutes to 6 minutes. My CTR stayed consistent. My subscriber growth accelerated because the content was finally worth watching. And here's the kicker. Claude is free. I didn't need to pay for Pictory. I didn't need to pay for expensive editing software. The tool that actually scaled my channel cost me nothing. So let's talk about the $12,000 a month, because I know that's why you're still watching. Here's the breakdown. About $8,000 comes from AdSense. The channel gets around 400,000 views per month, and the CPM in the business niche is higher than average, around $20 to $25. That's the baseline. The other $4,000 comes from affiliate links. I partner with software tools, productivity apps, and business resources that are relevant to my audience. I don't push products. I just mention them naturally in the videos where they fit, and include links in the description. No sponsorships yet, no courses, no paid memberships, just YouTube ad revenue and affiliate income. And the reason this is sustainable is because the channel isn't dependent on virality. I'm not chasing trending topics or trying to game the algorithm. I'm building a library of evergreen content that compounds over time. Videos I posted 3 months ago are still getting views. They're still generating revenue. That's the model. But none of this would have worked if the scripts weren't good. Because without retention, the algorithm doesn't push your videos. Without retention, you don't get monetized. Without retention, you're just uploading content into the void. And that's why Claude was the only tool that mattered, because it was the only one that helped me solve the retention problem. Here's what I learned from this entire experiment, and it's the thing nobody talks about. Tools are leverage. They're not the business. You can have the best AI video generator, the best editing software, the best automation, but if you don't understand what makes content work, none of it matters. The people making money with faceless YouTube channels aren't doing it because they found some secret AI tool. They're doing it because they understand storytelling, pacing, hooks, and audience psychology. The AI just speeds up execution. It doesn't replace strategy. So if you're trying to build a faceless channel, stop obsessing over which tools to use. Start obsessing over whether your content is actually good, whether people want to watch it, whether it solves a problem or entertains or teaches something valuable. Because once you figure that out, the tools become easy. You'll know exactly what you need because you'll know what you're trying to build. But if you skip that step, you're just going to waste time and money on software that doesn't fix the real problem. So that's the breakdown. 3 tools. 2 were useless. 1 actually mattered, and it wasn't the one everyone's hyping. If you're building a faceless channel right now, or you're thinking about starting one, focus on the scripts first. Everything else is secondary. Now, here's what I need from you. Comment either scripts if you want me to break down my exact exact script structure that took my average view duration from 2 minutes to 6 minutes, or comment nice shiz if you want me to reveal the 3 best faceless YouTube niches that are still wide open in 2025. Whichever one gets more comments, that's the next video. And if you're serious about this, subscribe. Because next month I'm running another experiment, building a faceless channel in a completely different niche using only free tools. No budget, just strategy. You're going to want to see how that plays out.